And so, the March of the Machine is done. Today we got the 2 final story beats for the March of the Machine story arc. Now, there is a epilogue, the Aftermath set that's coming out that might have more, and obviously as we get more cards revealed, a lot of they're going to show more individual moments, especially even with what we've seen previewed so far. There are a lot of characters like Thalia and the Gitrog monster that were working together on cards that didn't show up in the story. So character deaths and other significant things could still happen over the next coming weeks as we get the full set previewed. But as far as the story goes, it's completed. The first story, The Old Sins of New Phyrexia, opens up with basically where we left off when the new Capenna story from yesterday, which is the Errant was able to plant the bombs on the support beams that allowed them to drop an entire section of the city onto Atraxa, killing Atraxa. By doing so, they allow basically the angels to co-opt the portals of the tree, because Ren is also kind of co-opting the portals of the tree, allowing the angels to escape to all the different planes to help the people there. It establishes that the angels are able to basically ward off infection to anyone that they're blessing. So like similar to how Halo works mildly if you ingest it, angels, if they're directing that power directly to save people, once they're in the fight with people, they're able to protect them actively. This is different than the angel stuff that was going on Zendikar, we think. Now I have a whole video that I'll link below. I think I can do that. That kind of goes over my thought on what angels are doing in general and why they're working. None of that has been confirmed, but it's not a major part of the story. Just the angels are able to protect people from New Phyrexia, from New Capenna, and apparently other angels are otherwise, but we haven't seen much more than that other than on Zendikar. We also get sightings of Giada, who confirmed still alive, as she's too young to be a part of the battle, but is kind of acting as more of a director and helping communicate with the people fighting on the ground and the angels and making sure all that communication is going well. She's able to kind of direct the angels to go to the different planes that the tree is opening up, basically knowing that the angels that are leaving to those planes permanently. The big one that we see actual battles happen is the angels do end up on Theros. They help a bunch of sailors defeat some Phyrexian sea beasts, so apparently Phyrexians can swim fine. But the big important one is they help Kaya, who's fighting Heliod, kill him. Kaya murders Heliod. We can assume that the other gods that are completed are all also defeated. We don't see that, but specifically we see Kaya jump onto Heliod's back and slice his neck open with ghost blades. So sick. I guess Kaya could do that now. It took Elsbeth having a whole special spear sword to do that, but Kaya also can kill dead ghost spirit things. It's her thing. So that makes sense. TBH, Kaya's broken. The portal then shows New Phyrexia, and Giada and Elsbeth can see each other, and they like wave using angel waving telepathy, and then a bunch of angels go and start helping them on Phyrexia, knowing that this is the plane that they're going to go die on. At the same time, we're cut to Zhalfir. Zhalfir has just opened the portal onto New Phyrexia, and they are marching on. Now, it's pretty established that they have basically, because the way, like basically Teferi teleported Zhalfir away during a previous Phyrexian invasion. So they've been preparing for this fight for technically thousands of years. For them, it hasn't been that long because they're in like a time bubble, but it was 1,000 years ago when that happened. So they are like extra ready to fight Phyrexians, and they come in charging, brave, and ready to do so. And though it's not like as epic as the On Your Right moment where like portals open and characters we love from all of the different planes are coming to fight Phyrexia, we do get like the Zhalfir marching on, which does have a lot of the Wakanda vibes to it, as well as the angels showing up, which have a lot of the Sam and the flying characters from that moment. So it has similar vibes, so it's not an identical copycat thing. But the Zhalfir army rushing in alongside the angels, alongside Ren taking over the tree, does turn the tide of the battle, at least on that branch with the Praetors who are there. As this is happening, Elsbeth is fighting Nissa, kind of distracting her, and everyone's fighting different people. Vornaclex attacks Teferi. Teferi is able to like kind of slow him down slow enough that he looks silly. Literally the comment is that, you know, and no matter how big a behemoth is, they look silly when they're in slow motion. Vornaclex is still able to get to Teferi, but he's able to defend himself long enough for another Zhalfirian and Askari named Shella. I don't know if Zhalfarian is how to... Yeah, I don't know if that's right, whatever. But moving on, Elsbeth then meets up with Teferi, and he's like, you're an angel now. And she's like, I am an angel now. And they have like a small conversation. They continue to fighting. And this is when we are revealed the big plan to defeat Phyrexia. Ren is switching Zhalfir location in the phased out bubble in time space that doesn't even really exist, that Teferi locked them in thousands of years ago during Old Walker status with Phyrexia, literally using the World Breaker to switch the two locations. So Zhalfir will become its own plane, and Mirrodin, New Phyrexia, will be locked away forever. This process is destroying, if not destroying the plane, heavily damaging it. So just like sections of the upper rings are falling down and just crushing different parts of the Phyrexian army. Elishnor is fighting the Zhalfiri mages, and they're doing actually pretty significant damage to her, and her followers are noticing that she isn't able to really stand up against them, showing weakness. And this is the other thing that defeats Phyrexia. It's not just this big switcheroo. It's also that the different leaders of Phyrexia have actually never been one. The whole idea of all will be one has never been something that they've really fallen behind because of the discordantness between them. And so Elishnorn's followers stop listening to her. And that is when Jin-Gitaxias shows up riding a giant war beast that has like just blades shooting out of it and is like, Elishnorn, you're an idiot. Your pride is the reason we lost or are losing right now. Fuck you. And I am the captain now. The exact wording is, your ego is a tumor on whatever talent you may have had. New Phyrexia has evolved beyond you, but your scraps may serve some use, which is a great line. And then that's when Ajani shows up to defend her from Jin-Gitaxias. So basically, it's Norn and Ajani versus Jin-Gitaxias forces. So they're just like fighting each other at this point. This distraction actually opens up basically all of them to attack from Zhalfir. So Ajani gets frozen solid by ice magic. Jin-Gitaxias is killed. Teferi uses time magic to free the war beast under Jin-Gitaxias, so all of the blades coming out and killing people under it no longer work. And this gives someone an opening, a Zhalfir warrior, to use a giant warhammer and smashes Jin-Gitaxias into the war beast, killing him. Apparently, lots of goop and ooze shoots out everywhere, including getting on Teferi, but not Phyrexian oil. This is like organs. And at this point, everyone's like, oh, okay, Ren's about to switch the planes. We need to go. And so they all start running away, grabbing the injured. They invite all of the Mirrans are invited to come join Zhalfir, and they all decide to do so. So they're all running with them. Koth is, pushing Lava to kind of protect the retreat. Teferi wants to go check on Ren. Ren is dead or dying. Like, basically, she has been turned to bark entirely. He finds a little acorn of her, though, and grabs the acorn. So we got a acorn Ren, and he starts running along with everyone. This then cuts to Chandra and Nissa facing off. Chandra basically being unable to stop her. Koth is protecting Chandra, which Chandra's like not willing to defend herself, being like, Nissa, you're not going to kill me. Come on, fix yourself. Get your shit together. And Nissa doesn't do that, but Elsbeth pummel into the back of the head, knocks her out. So Nissa's knocked out. They grab her. They grab Ajani's body, who's frozen. They are dragging them to the portal as well. Karn, now he's no longer he just recreates his body. He just uses, Karn magic to create a new body construct. And he tells everyone to go on ahead. He's going to catch up to them, but he has one thing he needs to do before he's done. And then it cuts to Karn's POV. And Karn goes with the fact that his whole life has tried to be a pacifist. For a very, very long, he was exclusively a pacifist. Since Phyrexia was founded, he's been able to work around that and has done some harm, but will take every possible avenue he can. But he witnesses Elishnorn after she's fought through her entire forces and the betrayal of Jin-Gitaxias. Basically, all of her armor is stripped away. She's just sinew, and even her mask is crumbling, clawing her way towards them. And because he can't let Norn live, he grabs her and rips her head off, murdering her. And the art's cool. This does have a chain reaction effect where Phyrexians that were following her do stop kind of functioning. It's later kind of speculated on whether it was her being killed or Ren totally removing Phyrexia from connection to all these planes. We'll get to that in the next episode of these recaps. But this is basically where it ends. The Mirrans, Karn, Koth, Elsbeth, Nissa's knocked out body, Ajani's frozen body, Chandra, and the Zhalfir people all go through the portal back to Zhalfir, and Phyrexia is switched with Zhalfir permanently, locking it in a time stasis phase bubble in the middle of nowhere in the Blind Eternities, preventing anyone from leaving, but also anyone from ever going back there. We still don't know where Jace is, though. I have a lot of speculation, but I'm probably gonna leave that for the next one because I have literally 50 seconds left. I do think that they seeded a lot of the ways that they removed it. It is sad that just like all the Praetors were killed, and partially by people that were relatively unnamed. It was a weird setup to have all these team up cards that we saw, and a lot of them don't even take place in the story. One more to go.